Feel the rhythm, feel the message. Welcome to the political replay, where the voices rise every day. From the streets to the radio play, we bring the truth in every way. Welcome to the political replay, the best in show business, hear what we say. We echo the voice of the government strong, breaking it down in a lyrical song. JNB and JKK on the mission again, building up the nation from now till when. From the city lights to the village lane, you can see the progress, you can't complain. Road development, that's JNB and JKK. School rising up, yeah, we say okay. Health improvement every single day, JNB and JKK lead the way. Roads from farms to market, that's JNB and JKK. Security standing firm, no delay. Who wants development? Hear the people say. The Libyan people loud and clear today. From the hills to the coast, feel a vibration. Unity rising across the nation. Concrete dreams turning reality. Step by step toward prosperity. Children in school with books in hand. Future getting brighter across the land. Hospitals working, people getting care. Hope in the system everywhere. Say JMB, say JKK. Progress moving every single day. Say forward, never back. Development on the right track. Road development, that's JMB and JKK. School rising up, yeah, we say okay. Health improvement every single day. JMB and JKK lead the way. So tune in close, don't fade away. This is the political replay. Voices strong, hear what we say. Libya rising, brighter day. Whoa,
the show. Welcome to the podcast. I'm glad to be here with you guys tonight on the replay. Keep sharing the show. It was a very, very beautiful show this morning. We went up to 400 people were watching, but I can understand we were streaming directly from the page on our cell phone. So Facebook rapidly distributed the podcast this morning, but we are here tonight again to talk Liberia, to talk government, to talk opposition, to speak reality. We are not here to bury the facts. When we are affected, we must say that we are affected. When we lost, we must say we lost. And we can only do better when we accept our losses and prepare ourselves for the next battle at hand. So, guys, tonight, let me try to please share the podcast and tag somebody. Hit the share button, okay? Hit the share button, tag somebody, inbox somebody, share it in somebody's inbox. Let everybody come on the podcast, okay? Let me try to see if I can get my co-host to let her know that I'm already on, okay? So she can come on also. Okay, yeah, so again, then I got another person who should be coming on tonight. Christina Taylor should be coming on the podcast tonight also. I see around 4-2. Let's keep tagging people. Let people come on. Let me try to see if I can get Christina here. Let me see if I can get Christina here, okay? Yeah. Okay, I send message to them both to come on. So, I mean, the president is off to Kenya for 4 days. He will be returning to country on Wednesday. The good thing about the African continent now is that Africa is taking control of its economy. Africa is doing something very much, very much beautiful, you know, trying to make sure that these Western countries do not invite them over to Europe. How will you be hosting a summit on Africa, especially for the mineral resources and investment in Africa, and you invite the people to your continent? You're supposed to be going to the people continent to be able to discuss about that continent in terms of investment opportunities that you want to explore in their various countries in that continent. You know, for far too long that Europeans have taken Africa to just be that permanent backyard. But now Africa is saying, no, you guys have to come to us, okay? Instead of us coming to you people, you want something for us. Look, I can tell people, if African leaders can come together and hold this continent together, Africa will be the most powerful continent on the surface of the earth. Guys, keep sharing the podcast. I see 5-1. Africa will be the most powerful continent. Most of the countries you see in the West, they do not have what we have in Africa. You think somebody just want to spend their money in Africa because of charity? The Westerners, the Europeans, they are spending their money in Africa because there is something in Africa. There are things in Africa that they need, and they do not have it. And so they will always appear on the shows of Africa. They will always appear on the shows of Africa. Just 1 minute, guys. Let me see. I hope how I got my message. I think she was studying also and doing some work at home. So maybe she wouldn't be able to come tonight. So I can just be able to monologue for 1 hour. For 1 hour. Just 1 minute, guys. Keep sharing the podcast, okay? We're getting there. Keep sharing, we're getting there. Keep sharing, guys. Keep sharing. Keep sharing. It was a very beautiful podcast this morning, and we hope we can beef it up again here tonight on the podcast. Okay. She's not picking up. Maybe she's busy. So yesterday, like we spoke this morning on about the trial from yesterday. Okay. Let me go to the comment area. If there are a few people who are commenting. Okay. I see Moluba Henry. How you doing, Moluba? Marcia. How you doing, Marcia? I hope you're doing okay. Mopoy Bibi, how you doing? Oliver, how you doing? Robert D. Taylor. How you doing, my brother? I hope you're doing okay. I see you there, Robert. I feel you. So I'm waiting for Howard to come on the show. But let me pick it up like this. Keep sharing, guys. Let me pick it up like this. You know, there are a few journals here that I will read also, going back to trials in Liberia. Because what happened in Liberia yesterday, the interesting thing about it is that while you as Liberians want to fight corruption to the core, the government is exerting efforts to be able to prosecute people. People slipped through the eyes of the needle, and they didn't get a guilty verdict from the government, from the people. And yet people would understand that it doesn't mean that these people or this person who is acquitted as not guilty, they themselves understand that it doesn't mean that the person didn't steal or the person did not commit the act. It's just the rule of law being respected and say, not guilty, the law is the law, and that's it. But fully well in the back of everybody's circuit, you know that monies was stolen. And the person who ignited the stealing of this money allegedly, now we'll use the word allegedly now because the person is being acquitted, fully took this money. But that is a problem with jury system. And Liberia has a long-standing history of these kind of cases. Government don't win them so easily. And so at the end of the day, you will find most of the alleged criminals going for a jury case instead of a bench trial where the judge will attentively listen at argument and be able to run a judgment in the case. But there's an interesting thing. We all know at the back of our minds that this money, it was self-initiated, disbursed, and the same individual went after it and took this money. This money was for their election purpose. Okay? This money, it was for their election purpose, and they took the money and used it. Now, sad for people like Jefferson Camo, who wanted to be so much loyal. Today, they are the ones who are going to bear the weight and consequences of a stolen money that cannot be accounted for. Okay? Now, but that will remain an imagination in everybody's mind as to how the juror will charge people with criminal facilitation. Who did they facilitate? Who did they facilitate? You can facilitate somebody who is doing something. You are helping somebody. So you say people like Jefferson Camo and other people, they facilitated the crime. With whom? Who was the head of the crime, of the syndicate? Okay. Who were the head of the criminal syndicate that you said you gave your rather guilty judgment on Jefferson Camo for criminal facilitation, but who was it facilitating the criminal crime with? So how did the juror come to this conclusion? You brought out of the people who are within the top security agency. Okay? That is why I agree with people that we must not make it as though the government was going after Samuel 12. That's a fact. But in a criminal syndicate, there is a head. There's a mastermind. So who was the mastermind that Jefferson Camo extended for facilitated? We agree the law is the law. Okay? We do agree that the law is the law. Arabi Jew, how you doing, sweetheart? Stephen Jacobs, how you doing? James, God gave Paul. Welcome to the podcast. Who did they facilitate in the crime? So you will see that these people, they are rejoicing that 12 was not adjudged guilty for the crime. When you are fighting to curb corruption, people are rejoicing because people slipped from having a guilty judgment for allegedly carrying on a crime in the country. These kind of people, how can you trust them with state power? How can you trust these kind of people with state power? What's up? I'm live. Yeah, I'm live. Yeah. I'm okay. You want to contribute? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Later. Yeah. So, how can somebody criminally facilitate when there is no gang leader? These people, they think that they adjudicated this case well, but they hurt Liberia. They're simply trying to give the middle finger to the American government that has people that Samuel 12 under sanctions. Okay? I wonder these people coming or they are not coming. I told them the time. Up to now, they are not here. Okay. Up to now, they are not here. So they shot the entire country in the legs. Because people will say, we can take money as long as we are able to defend ourselves rightly, we will be set free. And ordinary citizens must be able to understand something from yesterday's judgment. Jefferson Camo is a member of the CDC. Standing for all of these people, they are associated with the CDC. Now, when you are a non-important factor from in the CDC, is what the celebration from the side of the CDC suggests to everybody yesterday. And every little citizen must be able to understand from this that only the people at the top, it's only the people at the top who matters. Okay, let me put the sovereign charge. They do not care. They do not care what happens to people like Standing For. They do not care what happened to people like Jefferson Camo. But there is a thing. All of the rejoicing that they are doing. Because I heard Sekou saying yesterday, the case has finally vindicated the government of George Weah. And it sounds so naive. Okay? Now, the people, let's forget about the Samuel Twain and other people. But other two who were adjudged guilty, they were key government officials of the George Weah's administration. So how can you come again to say that George Weah's government has been vindicated? The court charged two guilty of criminal facilitation from George Weah's government that they are responsible for the stealing of 6.2 million United States dollars. It still implicates that George Weah government was inherently corrupt. That two people were charged guilty, or three people were charged guilty of corruption, adding to those who were already on the United States sanction list. Do these guys really understand what they were rejoicing for yesterday? What I can say is that we need to do better. We have time. Look, there are few cases yet on the docket. I hope they understand that they have to take these cases very much serious. Other than that, you have the Axon case coming up. Okay? You have the Axon case coming up. All right? Now, the Axon case, if you cannot nail these buggers, it's going to be a serious problem. It's going to be a serious embarrassment. We must not sit and pamper things. We must accept our facts. We must accept that our flops, we must accept our failures. I ain't coming put my character on the line for people that are taking a big checks. No. I only happen to advocate for the government and extend the government voice. But I'm not taking big check to consider a pamper somebody to put my character on the line. Political reward is not in heaven. It is here on earth. So if anybody thinks that I will sit in the public and pamper the judgment from yesterday and can say government won, government didn't win nothing. That's a fact. And you start pampering things. When you go to an Olympic, you are going for gold medal. Who in the interior knows Jefferson Camo? Who in the interior knows or Standing For? You go right to Margibi County or Bentor. You ask, you follow the case of Jefferson Camo. You ask about 10 persons, they will tell you who is Jefferson Camo. You go to Ganta, Margibi Kakata. You ask them about Standing For. Somebody will tell you who is Standing For. So that cut a chase here. When you go to Olympic, you are going to win gold medal. Their case, it was not specifically about Samuel Twe, but Samuel Twe was a big kill in the entire conspiracy. And that is why many people in the entire case, everybody, not just only from government, what made you think that the CDC doesn't care about the other people who are judged guilty? Because they know those people are not big fish. Why do you think CDC will be rejoicing Samuel Twe acquitted? And somebody will sit in a mind and say, you shouldn't talk that days before people think that we were after Samuel Twe. When even the people, the defense, the people who support Samuel Twe, they themselves, they were merely looking at Samuel Twe and not the other people, because the other people were like, we can say in our Facebook language, kekele. Those were the tiny fish in the water. So CDC in was that Twe should be acquitted. That's the most important thing they were looking at. Then how can you, a government operative, say you cannot sing the song before people think the government was after Samuel Twe? That judgment is very poor. I don't know why when people come to power, that judgment can change. And these are the things that can affect them before they make up their mind. They are already in opposition. That's what happens. Now, let me take few. Somebody wrote something. Let me try to read it and see. Okay? Let me get to my phone. There's one that came from somebody called himself Prominent Citizen. Okay? Let me try to read it. The person said, let's try to make sense of these things. Okay, guys? The person said, so the theft they charge on the other people with, I think the person trying to speak real colloquial. So the theft they charge the other people with, where place they stole the money from. So Prominent Citizen is saying the theft that they charge the other people with, where did they take the money from? Then he asks, from my grandmother's grave? I don't know who is this a Prominent Citizen guy. Then he goes further to say, guys, continue to share the podcast. Then he goes further to say, because someone approved all of the money in question before it got to those people who were convicted. You see the sense the guy is making? The guy said the people you charge with theft, where they took the money from. Then he goes further to say, before the money could come outside, let's agree that you charge these people with theft. But before this money came outside, who approved it to come outside? The guy, everybody, you go into the villages, people who will be talking about Jefferson Camus standing for and the other people. Okay? People are looking at the origin of this entire syndicate. How did the money get into the hand? Yes, you said these people you charge them with theft. Okay? But where did the money come from before they could get involved to facilitate the criminal act? Okay? So Prominent Citizen is asking salient questions here. Let's continue. I'm sorry for the quality of my voice, guys. Okay? And then he said, we all know that no heads in the CDC government dare take a dime from any money that was budgeted for their ministers or entities without the consent of the finance minister. That's just a fact. In the CDC, who would have taken money without the consent of the finance minister? Who approved who approved the finance disbursement? The finance minister. And then most surprisingly, in this case, it cannot be established the spending entity that make the request for this money. So everything was sitting right on the head of the finance minister at the time. Because they could not say, even the finance minister could not say, Which spending entity? I'm coming, guys. Let me just.
And of course, he's headed into the.
They could not say which spending entity requested this morning. So, where did the money go? Jealousy, Kamo, there's a lesson for anybody. Let's forget about CDC. But even if you are in the UP government, don't pull your head on the chop bowl for people. The fact in this matter remains that Jefferson Kamo, Senator, they are the pawn in the entire saga. Why the main people, the main culprits, those who should be going to jail, those who should be held responsible, are walking free. Because people like Jefferson Kamo, standing for, they decided to play loyalty. Now knowing these guys, we're playing them. Now let's go further to say, he said, or else you will be fired the next morning. He used the F word. From one day, I believe the money was stolen by increasing various budgets, gaining approval, and taking their cuts. And I agree with him. He said, okay, and he said, but GMB and his rescue people don't have the balls to prosecute because their hands are also not clean. So the guy goes further to even accuse Joseph Yuma Boakar's administration that the prosecutorial arm of government, they are not acting so strong because maybe they themselves, their hands are not clean. Haji, how you doing? Mohammed Kamara, how you doing? Moses, how you doing? I hope you guys are doing great. Okay? So I have another write-up here from another guy called Dexter. Let me try to get it. This guy called Dexter wrote this one. Dexter Cassell. Okay? Let's go into it. It is a very beautiful piece. All right? Let me try to get Dexter piece. Where is it, Dexter? Where are you? Let me get it. Let me get it. Just 1 minute, guys. Let me get Dexter piece right here. Okay? He said, please read this documentary report prepared by me, Dexter. So Dexter is giving a historical background how governments upon governments have failed to prosecute criminal cases, most especially using jurors. Okay, so let's take our time and go through what Dexter is saying here. Okay, he said the United States government had imposed sanctions on Liberian government officials earlier in cases involving alleged government complicity because it is aware that many major court cases in Liberia frequently results in the acquittal of defendant after being proven in court. Okay, after the prosecutor have proven in court that these crimes were committed, at the end of the day, Dexter is saying these people were always acquitted. So he's saying that the American government have looked at the Liberia court system as being even more corrupt because people will commit corrupt acts. You go to the court, the evidence are clear, but they will still get an acquittal judgment from the court. So as a result, the United States government seen it and deemed it necessary nowadays to just hit a lot of people with sanction. And that is what happened during the George Rias administration. Now, he said, notable examples of jury and judge acquittals of or not guilty cases since 2001. So now, let's go into it, guys. Just want to let me get water because my throat is getting dry. Okay? Let me get water quick, very fast. Guys, keep sharing the show and tag people, okay? Let me get something to drink. Oh, I can't get to a glass right now. I'll just use the one I used before.
This looks really deep. Show me. Come sit here. Sit down. Come on.
Okay, so thanks for being patient, guys. Mohammed Kakai, how you doing? I hope you doing okay, brother. Now, in this chronicle or documentary, according to how he described it, he's trying to lay out in order many cases that government have lost since 2001. High-profile cases that governments have lost since 2001. Now, let's go into it. Now, according to Dexter, he said the $100 million drug case of Circa in 2023, a jury in Monrovia acquitted suspects in a major narcotic trafficking trial involving a massive quantity of drugs. And the world became concerned. If you guys can remember the $100,000 US drug case, okay? A jury in 2023 acquitted these people when the facts and the evidences were high in the case was presented by prosecution at the time. But let's look at even the CDC government. High-profile criminal cases, how many of them did they win? At the end of the day, they just go back to the judicial system that it is inherently corrupt. That things happen there beyond our imagination. Things happen beyond those walls. It's not just a case from yesterday. Their case does not exempt the fact that the George Weah government was corrupt. Because if they were not corrupt, we would have seen the development carried out by the George Weah's administration. But we didn't see it. Now, let's continue. Then he comes to say the human trafficking case in 2023, in the government's first major human trafficking prosecution of its kind, the defendant was acquitted. Prosecutors later suggested that jurors may not have fully understood the elements of the crime. So the judge had to disband the jury, and he himself ruled that the defendants were guilty. So in that human trafficking case, the jury again, they said that the defendants were not guilty. They acquitted them. But the prosecution had to make a further case to the judge and say, maybe these people do not understand the gravity of this case or the elements that were produced. And the judge at the end of the day had to disband the jury, okay, and set aside a decision. He himself, understanding the gravity and the nature of the case, had to judge these people guilty and honor his gavel. So there have been so many instances, and government after government should have to learn from these things. Okay? Now, let's look at this. Attempted murder case involving American national Lucas Richards. Okay? In 2024, 2023, 2024, a Liberian court found Lucas not guilty of the attempted murder charge in a high-publicized evidence case. Again, Lucas was acquitted by the jury. So the criminal justice system in Liberia, there's a problem with our justice system. The courts, there's a problem. Now, how sophisticated is our population to be able to understand the gravity of certain crime that we always have to select jurors to come and make decision for an entire country. Okay? All right? So let me get just 1 minute. Let me get to this person very fast. Let me get to the person very fast. Uh, 1 minute, guys. Moruba Darius Moruba. You will not see you will not see any podcast from Abba again because you are about to be blocked. Okay? And there we go. So this is just what I will do. Because when we're talking serious things, people want to come in and talk about the foolishness. Sometimes I do not. I'm not in the mood to argue with people, and I wouldn't be doing that again. To say arguing with most of these guys on the podcast. We have to maintain it clean and keep it clean. No insulting people. Okay? So let me go back to Dexter documentary as he calls it. Okay? Now, he says this Big Ball 1 and Big Ball 2. I think every one of us knows about the case about Big Ball 1 and Big Ball 2. Vanny Sherman, Alex Tyler, and the rest of the guy. This one was Eddie Joseph Salih's regime. Okay, guys, just 1 minute. Yeah. So guys. So let's go into Dexter reading. Okay. Now Dexter said the case of Big Ball 1 and Big Ball 2, the Sable mining. Okay. There's prominent corruption prosecution which involved international witness, concluded with the defendant being found not guilty. Okay. So too many instances. Okay. Now, 2010 embezzlement case, Orisha Gould and others, National Social Security and Welfare Corporation, 9 persons, including the managing director, Orisha Gould, according to Dexter, were charged with embezzlement over 600,000 United States dollars. Okay? Many times the Supreme Court of Liberia has overturned several lower court convictions, including jury verdict, leaving a major case for reasons best known unto themselves. So the court system have always been one of our major problems. Look, in other countries, people look at the law. They said this crime was committed. These buckers must be locked up. They must be made to restitute. Why do you think Jerusalem Kamel is going to get $6.2 million from? Why do you think Standard Fire is going to get $6.2 million from? Huh? Why do you think they're going to get it from? Let me get the right stuff for us here so I can be up there too myself. Okay. Where are they going to get it from? I'll have to set different metrics. Okay. Where are they going to get it from? Welcome to the show, Hawa. How you doing?
Hi, Albert. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. I still send a link to to Christina Taylor, but I haven't seen her here. Welcome to the podcast. I know you are very busy. You are a very busy woman. Uh, so yes, like we always say, welcome to the podcast. What is hurting your head?
Liberia is hurting my head,
I know, right?
but I'm here.
It's
So I'm
okay.
grateful. We're here to not talk down on our people, but to educate them because sometimes things happen because of ignorance or so. So if people don't know things, they will continue to do the right thing. If they can't look at situation and analyze it rightly, we'll continue to be in the same place. So we can sit, we can scream, we can do whatever, but we need to continue to push the message about educating our people on doing the right thing, looking at situations. Because to be frank, I think some people have made certain things normalized in our society. Because even when you're talking
Mhm.
to some of the younger children, they think it's okay for somebody to give them $1 and then use them. But it is our duty as citizens to also tell them, as a citizen of a nation, you are supposed to do certain things for your country. Everything is not government. You are the government. That's why they say government of the people. Hi, Marcia. So you as a citizen, you do have a civil responsibility to your country. It's done all around the world. Liberia is not different. We did it before, we can do it again. War shouldn't be the reason why we decide to be barbaric or act the way we act. So that is one of the things that is on my mind, that we can't give up. We have to continue pushing. It's like you're on the battlefront. You can feel down because certain strategy, certain battle strategy did not go the way you want it to go. You have to keep on pushing. And for us to be successful, we also have to tell our people the truth, telling them that it's also your responsibility to this country. If Liberia should change, we all, from the market woman to the younger boy to the elementary student, we all have to have a duty to Liberia and not to any man, not to President Boakai, not to Minister Gafuan, to any to Mo Ali Water and Sewer, not to anybody but to the Republic of Liberia. So that is what's on my mind.
Sure, sure, sure. I really applaud that. I mean, I can feel your energy for your country, your passion, your love. Some days we will go home, maybe wanting to stay or wanting to spend time to come back. At a certain point in our life in this Western country, we become hungry for home. Now, yesterday, one of the government's biggest cases in terms of fighting corruption, although the case was not about Samuel Twe, it was all about the government curbing, fighting corruption, most especially people whom they thought might have taken the Liberian people money, and generally to see how they can make them pay for a restitute, or in other cases, sentence them. But in cases like I was saying, if you went to somewhere deep into Nima County there and ask somebody about the name Stanley Ford or Jefferson Campbell, they will tell you they don't know. But when you say Samuel Twe, that means a household name in Liberia. So if you even look at seditions, because I understand from the point where most of our people say it must not be looked like it was about Samuel Twe. But which I agree with, but that twists our eyes on the other side, the other people. Look at whom they were really fighting to secure amongst all of the people. So we from this side, we are not wrong, because those people from that side also, the bigger fish that they didn't want for their side to catch was Samuel Twe. You understand? So it is not just from our side. Even the other people who call themselves the defense, they were not looking. You see what is happening. Jefferson Camo is from the CDC. Standard Four is associated with the CDC. But do you see them talking anything about Standard Four and Jefferson Camo? No. They are only rejoicing that Samuel Twe was not. Why do you think it's like that?
I think the CDC party has always been about certain people. Nobody can doubt that, except you have not lived in Liberia and have not followed them. It's always been about certain people. But it doesn't mean that the government did not have a good case because Samuel Twe was not found guilty. That does not mean that the fight of corruption is dead. Out of 5, they found 3 people. Now, I know I came on, I heard you talking about where would they take money from? If they cannot produce the money, they serve the time. That is what we expect. But we do not expect people to be found guilty and then to be passing around walking like they didn't do anything wrong to the Liberian people.
And it is Liberia, definitely. These 2 guys will take an appeal to the Supreme Court.
Of course, it is their constitutional right to do so, but the Supreme Court will also look at the documents in line with everything that was done in the lower court to come up with whatever decision.
Okay, Howard, let's look at this thing, because we are not legally minded. Okay,
we are just common sense. We are not legally minded, but we have common sense.
We are the common sense people. We are the common sense people. Now, you charge somebody with theft of property. You charge somebody with criminal facilitation. Okay? Whom did the person facilitate in the crime? In the commission of the crime?
And that's where I come in to say we need to talk to our people, because this case here is the common people, the one that decided it. That's what they call juror case. The judge was not the one that passed the verdict. The common people themselves, the very people that we scream for, the very people that will be passing and say, we ain't got this in the hospital, we ain't got this. They sat on the case, they listened to all the people that came and took the stand, and they made that decision. Jury case is not a small thing. No, I have the habit of watching real life cases, whether past, some of them all the way in the 60s, with jurors. Some of them, like for example, in America, jury cases have sent innocent people to death in this country that some of us live in. Because the people that sit over there as jurors, some of them are biased. Some of them may be there with their own mind, maybe for no reason. I don't like this government. I don't want for the government to succeed. But this government is working to try to make Liberia a better place, but for your own bias. And people can take that into that decision. They're like you and myself. If you don't think that, okay, we need to draw a line in the sand, we need to set precedents, and you're sitting on that juror bench, you will end up doing the wrong thing. because you will not be thinking about your children. You will just think, maybe I'm not the president, so I will just do whatever because I think I'm doing it to the president. But you're doing it to yourself. So your cases they are very complex. It's hard to talk. That's why today I was on Facebook where I saw one of my good friends. Not going to call his name, but I always say we that say we are educated, more is expected of us. Like, you cannot say, oh, criminal will not prosecute crime. If this government wanted to support criminals, they wouldn't have taken this case to court. They would not have. But you also have to know, if you really love your country, according to yourself, if you say you really love, you also now have to educate our people that, look, this is the situation. As a juror, this is what is expected of you. Like, they have had a lot of landmark cases, like what Marcia is saying, that the O.J. Simpson case. They went up, they came down, the juror said the man was not guilty, and years later, people know the truth now. So that's how juror cases are hard. They are complex. It's just...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the case yesterday, for me, I think the government presented a very good case. They fought. I would say I go to law school. I was sitting here, I said the case here, no way. And even the people were admitting to what they have done. So I don't know how the jury thought certain people did what and certain people didn't do what. I can't understand that. That's what my confusion was yesterday. But
my whole doubt and confusion comes to facilitate a crime, there must be an origin. Okay. And in the entire case, no spending entity was known in the entire case that requested that moved the finance minister to approve disbursement. Who requested? Didn't the jury see that? Now, my question is, do you think Liberia...
The thing is, sorry, and you're right, Albert, because like I can be the head of this entity, but there is somebody else over me. Like they say, I head in the financial department of this entity. My boss will have to give me written order to disburse certain funds. Over finance cannot just get up and say, oh, and I'm going to disburse this fund because I'm over finance. I can't do that. That is me doing something illegally. Just by doing that. Even if I never stole the money, just by doing that without any order from anybody, that is me doing something illegally. So they said the former president told them to. They went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said you don't have immunity over that. Only the president does have immunity. And there is something I also want to say. The immunity we always say the president has. It's written in the Constitution. In the case of criminal cases, like for example, if they check and they found a former president here in the cookies jar, that immunity does not cover him or her. If she did it illegally, if it was some criminal activity that went on, you sitting as a sitting president at that time, you got yourself involved in criminal activity and it is found out, that immunity does not cover you. And you know, when usually people talk about immunity, they just stop it short. But sometimes some of these things we need to go beyond to make the mere people to understand. So in the event of things, people will understand and know that nobody is breaking the law. Because we're quick to say people are breaking the law. But I guess yesterday, our legal system was very good. Nobody was witch hunting anymore. Nobody was doing anything. But tomorrow, there's very people that were celebrating in the street. I don't know why they were celebrating for. they will be passing around again saying people witch hunting.
Now, let's look at this. Somebody wrote, he's called Dexter Cassell. I think I was trying to read out when you came on. Dexter says, the United States government had imposed sanctions on Liberian government officials earlier in cases involving alleged government complicity because it is aware that many major court cases in Liberia frequently result in the acquittal of prosecution of prosecutors after being proven in court. He said, notably, notable example of jury or judge acquittals or not guilty verdicts since 2001. He said, the 100 million judge case in 2023, a jury in Monrovia acquitted suspects in the major narcotic trafficking trial involving massive quantity of drugs. So the guys walked free. Then he came down a human trafficking case in 2023. He said, in the government first major human trafficking prosecution of its kind, the defendant was acquitted. Prosecutors later suggested that the juror did not understand all the full elements or the gravity of the crimes or the case. So the judge had to put aside the verdict of the juror and took a guilty verdict against them. So do you think Liberia, for our skills of understanding in Liberia, do you think we are ready for juror cases? Do people really understand what to be a juror is? Do they understand the full gravity of these laws, especially when the lawyers are talking? Do you think most of the people who are selected, they really understand? And most especially also, I see most of the time, these people who are selected is mostly there in Monrovia.
But Albert,
the civil service.
The first thing, Liberia has a whole lot of archaic laws. A lot of laws are very old. We all the way in the 20th century. We're still doing a lot of things in our country that we in the 1800s or early 1900s. I do not believe that jurors should only be selected from civil service. Because in Liberia, and that's the fight, because most of these people that go into the civil service is either true I know you.
Yeah.
You may be qualified with your paper, everything, but somebody may pull, it happens all around the world, but in Liberia, it's blatant that somebody that know you will be like, okay, bring your paper, I can talk to somebody for you. So I think what the Justice Ministry, along with the judiciary, should start thinking about is how to amend our jury selection laws, how we do it, how to even upgrade our courts with computers and things, because these are some of the things so that delay cases. And sometimes people can't find their documents because maybe somebody who works in a lawyer office, they're not even right, because work ethics too is another big thing in Liberia.
I understand.
Let me finish saying what I'm saying. So I think the jury selection process needs to be looked at seriously. But in doing that, in countries that they write people homes and stuff, those are people that the country has database of their citizens. They know where each citizen live, where they are, and so you can be able to write or select people from in different areas to be jurors. And you do not just go and select and say them. You ask them questions, you talk to them because you want to know that level of thinking. You want to understand where their mindset is and all of that. And in abroad, we have this syndrome. I think yesterday was called, who said it also, where we think big people above the law and they're not supposed to be persecuted or go to jail for wrongdoings or so. So all those things, we got a lot of work to do in our country.
Indeed.
We have a lot of work to do. It's
So,
not
like-
easy, but there is a lot of work because I would rather want to understand how they deliberated on coming up with the conclusions they came up with. Yesterday one was listening. The moment they cleared the controller, I think you called me, you and myself were talking before you went to class reloaded, and you were like, I said, the moment they cleared the controller, I said 12 is going to be clear. In fact, when they started with two, the other guy, 3 not guilty, 1 guilty, further, I like, their case, 12 is going to be free. The moment, sometimes you just look at things with your mere eyes, and if you really live among Liberian people, you will understand our psyche. If you really live among us, where you don't think that, oh, you up here and the people down there, you will understand it a lot. When you see things happening in society, you will know exactly where it will go.
Yeah. So like you and I, we are understanding it in a way, okay? But do you think the common person down there is really understanding it the way you and I?
Can I how to call it, insult David?
Yeah,
Haley?
David, yeah.
Yeah, it's they do because they, how to call it, it's a constitutional right of the defense to select. It's in the constitution. That is something you cannot. But if they go to the Supreme Court, yes, the Supreme Court can turn if the Supreme Court see them for whatever decision to make to be turned over, yes, but you cannot say they done that the judge should have, if that's what you're talking about, that the judge should have how to call it, stood right there and said no, the defense did ask according to his constitutional right, or their constitutional right, they did ask for a juror case. That is their right. So you cannot take that away from them. So we need to correct that. What a corruption case or murder case, so yes, you it is in the constitution.
Thanks for that clarification, Hawa. Now, because everything that happened yesterday, it has bearing. It has bearing. How do you think, because the case was being observed by the entire country, not just in Monrovia, the urban people, they watch these things and take these things very seriously. Do you think that how you and I, we are looking at it that, yes, people were napped, okay? People were implicated, people were charged guilty for the crime. Do you think it's how we consider it as, or people, not we now, but people? I do not consider it as a win. Let me be truthful, okay? Why I understand that people,
because I know where you stand. That's why you say it's not a win, but to me, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, how to cut it. So,
and I respect that. I respect that. But do you think the little man in the interior there is taking it as a win? Because this case, whether from the opposition side,
let me say something about that. Because this whole case, what are the opposition, the imposition, the side position, NM position, they have made this whole case about Samuel Tway. And that's just the fight. And we should have never been. And that is why a lot of people thinking, oh, the government lost. This was a corruption case. 5 individuals were indicted and charged. And enough evidence were given. But because we Liberian people ourselves decided that all the other 5 people, they were not on a trial. It was one person that was on a trial. That's why people feel that, oh, the government lost. But we have to remember there were 5 individuals. Yes, there was a former foreign minister, a finance minister included, but there were 5 other people who also held key positions in the past government.
I do understand. So I look at what Inter played yesterday, and I sat here wondering, are we ready fighting corruption, or are we ready to fight corruption? Now,
I think we are.
now, what the question is coming. The question is coming, Howard. Now, what you saw yesterday, people rejoicing all over the place. Okay, and one thing we will accept is that the law is the law. Okay, the law is the law. They say the man is not guilty on all of the counts. The law is the law. We will accept it. But like we always say, somebody being acquitted doesn't mean that the crime was not committed. Okay?
Sure.
But it's just that the prosecutors could not produce beyond reasonable doubt, because they say you must be able to clear all the doubts that the person did it. Don't leave one doubt behind.
Okay, so let me ask you. So did the prosecutors clear the doubt? When you say the prosecutors did not clear all the doubt, then I will come to you and say, so was the doubt partially clear? Because some people were found guilty, which point to the point that the prosecution did their work. If nobody was found guilty in this case, I will tell you that then they did not convince the jury enough. Like we said, jurors cases that the one the Nigerian people can call, it will shock you. Because yesterday, I would be frank, when they announced, when everything was done, I sat for a while and talked. How did the juror come up with a guilty verdict for these people? But at the same time, they were able to equate certain people. I cannot go in their minds to know why they made the decision they did. But when you say all the prosecution did not go beyond reasonable doubt because Samuel Toa was not indicted, I will not. Yesterday we were on it before. I said I will not agree, because if they were not convinced enough, they were never going to charge anybody.
I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. But once somebody was not charged of any counts or guilty of any count, it means that the court or jury was not convinced that the person committed a crime.
In their head, I don't think it was not being convinced. They were convinced enough that the same 5 people charged for the same case, 3 people were found guilty, 3 people were guilty. But in their head, at the same time, in their head, 2 people were not.
Two people not committed a crime.
So it makes no sense. It makes no sense. So for me, so I will not. And that's why I say we need to tell our people some of the decisions they're making is going to harm not just them, but their children. Because you sit and make decisions that will go down the line and harm your 6.5 million can go to hospitals, can go to schools, can go to power, can go to roads construction, can move our country one step forward. And you sit down and you said, and the same case, they were never charged separately. They were not. They did not go. They did not do individual hearings or anything. Under the same to do. You say yes, the prosecution did their case, but we only saw 3 people guilty. The other 2 people didn't do nothing.
Yeah, because
you can't go in their head. In developed countries, that I was watching a story, but the man was executed and he was free. I mean, the man did not commit the crime. Somewhere, I think it was either Mississippi or Alabama. He died. jurors charged that man, innocent man, put him on death row, and he got killed. And years later, they now start to talk about how they made that decision and thing.
So everything just go back to say the law is not fair. Then what makes the court of play a place for justice? Because years on after you have killed somebody,
yeah,
then you come to realize that you killed somebody who did not commit a crime.
I would not say the law is not fair. They got a way lawyers put it, but it also left with we, the citizens that they put on our bench, to also, because when you're sitting on the bench as a juror, you're not just there to be popping chicle and thing. You're also there to help the judge and to listen to the case, to listen to everybody that sit on that stand talking. You listening to them, you taking notes of whatever they're saying. That is why you're there as a juror. That is what you're there for. And then when you go in your back room to deliberate, then you just, oh, what you think? And the person clear. You have to sit. Let me tell you, some I have seen cases that it have gone for days. The jurors cannot come to conclusion. Because if one person just said, this thing that you're saying ain't making no sense. You have to start deliberating over.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you have to tell your friend why you think this was not right. Why you think, but we even know if those people really sat down and really deliberated enough and really pulled things down one by one, or the job went and said, oh, your own job was to
I'm live. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
How to cut it and you just be like, oh, I don't even know if this jury, I don't know how they deliberated. I don't know if they really took things one at a time and lay it down and really argue on it. Because that's when you really know if people really understand. Because the first thing, if you sit as a juror on a case, you need to understand the gravity of the case. You need to understand the case. If somebody come on the bench and you say, oh, I like the way the mayor talking, so he not going to, I think he clear, then we in serious trouble.
The thing is hurting the common people a lot.
But it's the same common people that made the decision. They put it at them. That's called a spade. The common people, those people that were sitting on the bench were the same common Liberian people. So they hurt themselves in this situation. They hurt other people too by the decision they made.
Okay.
So it's the same common people, it's the common citizen that sat on our bench yesterday from the beginning, 1 year ago. They're the ones sat there. They were not judges, they were not ministers, they were not any other person but common Liberian citizens that sat down. And that is what I will continue pushing it. So people can know, because we cannot, because that is the reason why Liberian people abroad and here and in Liberia do not think that they owe Liberia any civil responsibility. And that is the problem. Because when the citizens,
let me ask you this question. Let me ask you the question. I'm live. Somebody call me. I'm live. Now let me ask you the question. Somebody told me today, or I read somewhere, the person said My cause carry higher gravity than corruption case in Liberia. I try to wrap my head around that.
Our people say a lot of things, like how they call the mayor, what her name, Liberia, LRB Jew, saying I'm twisting things. I'm not twisting things. I'm saying the truth. The jurors, those are sat to make the decision for the hearing, were Liberian, common Liberian citizens. And that is some of the things when we try to say things and people, either you pour cotton in your ear because you don't want to hear the truth. But Liberian, and for me, I say it all the time, for too long, we only look, oh, the government, Liberian citizens for a very long time, especially since after the war, we do not owe any responsibility to our country. And that is a problem because you can build all the infrastructure when the citizens themselves don't own any responsibility. That is why they walk in the street and throw trash in the street. That is some of it that will go all the way to the court and they will find 3 people guilty and find 2 people not guilty of the same situation. So I'm not trying to twist anything. I am saying the fight because the people that sat on the jury bench were not ministers. They were not judges either. They were the very Liberian people that they gave you the opportunity to do right by your country, and you failed to do that.
So I'll come back to this again now because you can see the reaction from the comment section, right? Okay. Do you think this case, like I said, the law is the law? Do you think it's going to hurt the government, from the people from the hinterland, the urban areas, looking at the mindset of Liberians?
I don't think it will, and that is why we have to explain. Because let me tell you, the common Liberian man thinks they don't even understand when you say, oh, the jurors were sitting. Like, what is LRB Jew? I don't know if it's a he or she. You ask that person, they may not even understand what a juror is, what the responsibility. In Liberia, 2 things. When a case go to court, we just think that the judge, the one who will make the final decision. We do not even know the proceedings and stuff. Most of the common people, most citizens do not even know. So they gave you, oh, we get like every day, EDC, we sitting, we the same Liberian, we the same citizens stealing power, doing everything to continuously bring our country down. They gave you a major opportunity. You flop. For me, I'm not perfect, but when I see something, I like to say it. Until we can start to hold each other responsible for things we do, we got a steep hill to climb, a very steep one.
So there's one of our major cases that we lost. Okay, I
don't think we lost.
I said we lost. Okay?
We did not by holding by Samuel 12, by the jury setting Samuel 12, saying Samuel 12 to do that is not a loss for me. I mean,
so we still got all of 5 cases on the docket. Okay, the arson case is one of the government's biggest case again, which involves criminality.
And and that's a jury case again.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. These people are being tried on the same way these people are charged on. They carry the same charge.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of them carry the same charges.
No, I think what her name was also indicted, but she did ask for a separate trial.
For a separate trial in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So she's not going, but the rest of them,
she will obviously be going as state witness. Is what I'm hearing.
I think so too.
Yeah, is what I'm hearing. She will be going as state witness, so they were able to grant her a separate trial. Now, how this case went. How do you look at this arson case? Because for me right now,
I know. Let me come in.
I'm skeptical right now.
Miss Albert, I know the arson case was going on, and the reason why it was on hold because they had to disband the whole jury because they started to find out that some people were already compromised.
Yeah.
So that is one thing too. I don't know how they select these people. I don't know during the case how they keep them, if they keep them where people don't have access to them, or they have people, or they have them going home. If you have a juror going home in a major case, definitely the juror is a small, especially that they take everybody from Monrovia. But I know that case was on hold because they had to disband the whole jury because they picked from the get-go, they pick it up that something was not going right and they had to cancel it.
I'm live. People call. I'm live. Who's that? I'm coming. Let me see.
And Mr. Kebe, I guess we need to ask the jurors how they came up with that. So I can't answer that. It's only the jurors that sat and made that decision can answer that.
Now, let's look at this. Okay. The Senator case. According to Howard.
So that David is asking you for link. I don't know who that
according
is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm expecting somebody.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm expecting Christina. So I want to make it I want to make it focused, you know. What I want to say now. How I strongly believe that we won this case because three were nabbed and 2 were acquitted. I mean, in a rational way, it makes sense. Okay, so you score 3 goals and your opponent score 2 goals. All right, so it's a win and what it called. Now, this arson case, there we have a pending declaratory judgment before the Supreme Court in the Yeka Koluba request to the Supreme Court. Even though whatever the Supreme Court says, it has been a practice with the legislative politics that Yeka Koluba wouldn't go back, no matter what the Supreme Court says. But what if the Supreme Court made a declaratory judgment that implies that the House of Representatives were wrong? They didn't follow procedure. How would it look like again?
I think the whole Yeke situation came to where people say a due process was not given. I think we said that before. And for me, what is due process? Was Yeke written and informed of what they were calling him to ask a question for? Yes, he was. He appeared. I don't know what went down. His lawyers walked out. So he said he was walking out because there was nobody there to defend him. Does that put a close to the hearing? No. So I don't understand the whole due process thing. How Liberian people say. In fact, one of my friends was like, oh, the people asked for 2 weeks. 2 weeks should have been given. So I then asked, I said, so, okay, so your problem is you think he was not giving due process because the motion was denied that they were not going. If you go to court and you ask even though it was not a courthouse, but it was a setting to ask questions, and you ask for something and the judge said no, and you get up and walk out, does that close your case? Does it put your case on hold? No, it does not. Some of the things are just common sense, but I think sometimes like Bureau we make things complicated because everybody want to talk about a process the way they understand it. So we're going to wait and hear what the court says. If the court said process was not followed, go back and follow the process. I would advise them to do that. Go back, follow the process, get a man. Does that change the fact that Yeke made a statement in a time of a hostile situation as a lawmaker against the country that pays his salary? Yes, that fight is there. Nobody can change it. He said it. And there are a lot of recordings around. He sat on a major platform and he made those declarations. So I would say if the Supreme Court tell them to go by and follow the process, I don't think they should say no. They should go by and follow he asked for 3 weeks and you're getting the 3 weeks and still come back with the same verdict. Period. And not the due process because they ain't getting 2-3 weeks. So people say he was not giving due process. You know, sometimes but nobody will tell him that you are wrong for walking out.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that was in a court, the judge would definitely knock his hammer and that would be the end of it.
Yeah. Agree. Welcome, Dave. How you doing?
I'm not happy.
I was expecting somebody to come and give a full coverage on the podcast. So
how are you, Mama?
I'm good. How are you, Dave?
Bless God. I've been listening to you guys. Look, you know, I was sugarcoating the whole thing.
How?
You're making it so fun.
How?
For me, I will say it raw the way it is.
But how
and I know they'll get mad at me.
It's not about making.
Just what you said, all right? I partially agree with you. We Liberians, we the problem for ourselves. We Liberians are the problem for ourselves. It's not the government. And you saw the amount of Liberians that were celebrating yesterday.
And those are people that one of them came to attack me yesterday. I told him, I said, look, I work for my money. I don't eat crumbs from somebody's table, so I will not celebrate a criminal.
Let me say something, Howard. Somebody said on the live feed that our justice system failed us. The person is right. Look, yesterday's case was one of the cases in Liberia. It was a landmark case that the entire world was watching yesterday. How can you be in a room? How can you be a custodian to this cup? And the cup is missing. Then someone are passing by the door. You said they don't want to store the cup. But the person that is in the room that taking care of the cup, you said no, the person don't know nothing about the cup.
And that's what I was saying. So it's the same Liberian people that fail themselves.
The entire country, from the bottom to the top, is rotting. And we should say it. The justice system is rotting. And we should say it.
I'm not saying the justice
system.
Allegedly,
the judges, they are.
Let me make a disclaimer. You go to that country.
They will not get you.
I'm not saying the justice system is perfect.
Look at the question you are asking. How Liberia now insulting someone is higher than criminal cases? Prophet Key insulted someone. His case was 5G speed, 2 weeks. He's beyond bars. Someone that damaged the country, stole extra amount of money, huge amount of money now, $100, $200, or $1,000. And he said, oh, the jurors, how they feeling?
You can only ask them. And that's why I said,
in the mind of the juror, nobody knows, because it becomes compound complex, because you cannot phantom out the person didn't say I didn't disburse. The person said, yes, I disbursed. By
Where?
the power given to me,
I
all
don't
the
know.
financial money, I disbursed the
To
money.
who? I don't know.
To who? You can't tell who you get the money to directly. Say to FIA. FIA controller, you say, FIA controller say, director was given that the check be placed in my knee, I should go and withdraw it and give it to operators from either the security agency, I don't know where they're from. You take the money and give it to them. But yet in the mind of the juror,
And that's the
the
thing, how
guy
you
is
don't
not going
know.
to tell you,
How will you
I'm
just
telling
take a
you.
huge amount of money and give it to people you don't know? You don't even say
yeah, you don't know.
you give it
Yet in
to
the
the
mind,
security
yet in the
people,
mind of the
but you know
juror,
who you give it to.
yet
You
in the
said,
mind of the juror,
oh yeah, like brother,
yet
interesting
in the mind
country.
of the juror, yet in the
That
mind of
country
the
is
juror,
cheaper than what we look at. You said you use the money on security. You name the security head. They
The
give and tell you say your money business that you're talking, we doesn't know nothing about that.
Thank you.
Where's the money in the Jewish setting?
And that's why I'm saying this
He-
case we can get back.
No.
We can get mad at the court system. The
What?
court system needs a lot of work. I'm not saying the court system is good, but we got to get mad at our people too, because their case was in their hand. This was a civil, and guess what? Somebody joined me. I don't know who was draw who or not. Somebody will be the one, and I will be passing around and say the country too corrupt. But they gave you a case
Yes.
to work on,
Look,
to do
you know
good by your country.
how I started studying something from that case yesterday. You see, in this country, I see why the people have government set up system for people to work. What do I mean? If you work with the state, you have a channel of communication. And the reason they do that is in case there's a leak or anything, they having somewhere to trace it.
But
How can somebody sit in? How can somebody sit in Morocco? I mean, in America, here in their house. Did the monitor spoon yesterday? He said
No.
before they could even say pass the judgment, he already knew how the case would be.
But he was one
Can
of
you
those.
imagine about?
He was one
Yeah,
of those.
But I said it this morning. This morning I said it. I said why these guys had just gotten through with a deliberation, or they were just any as jurors. Seditions already had a verdict. Also, they were rejoicing.
Yes.
You already had a verdict. Also, they were rejoicing.
And that's why I'm talking. We can talk about
No.
and we can talk our court system, but it's about time for us to also hold our fellow citizens responsible when they do not do things right. Because a lot of people in Liberia and in the diaspora do not hold allegiance to Liberia, and that is a huge problem.
Yes.
Yep.
That
Yes.
is a huge problem.
That's true.
We
People
can
are in
build
this
all the
country and
roads.
destroying that country.
We can build roads. We can build the skyscrapers or whatsoever. If we do not have citizens that have loyalty to Liberia,
Everything will be for nothing.
everything will crumble.
Yes.
Because you will have people who will sit and say, enough is enough. We the ones.
Bob, you are right.
So
Bob,
we
I
should do the right thing.
100% agree with you.
We should do the right thing.
Yes. Look, can you imagine how everything that is happening in the judicial system, in the court system, everything this man said right in his little room, when he have his talk show, he knows everything. Even something that's happening at the executive mansion.
Because the guy is spending the money. The guy is spending the money.
It comes down to the people again. Because you think if I would be somewhere working, somebody would, even if I won't be wicked, I will eat your money and not do what you want me to do. Because I know what I want for my country. I know where I want my country to be. There is no way I can compromise Liberia for anything.
Indeed.
But the people themselves, when we talk, people are, we can. It's about time for us to not only blame the government,
That's true.
especially if
I
we
agree
see
with
a
you.
government that is working and trying to do the right thing. It's not perfect, but we see positives. And when we, the citizens, decide to do the wrong thing, we should put it on us and
Yeah.
say, this one is on us. We did it to ourselves.
Look, how we are not ready in our country. Every day we talk about corruption. The citizens themselves, they are corrupt. They can
Very corrupt.
see.
Even the little children.
Yeah.
Then one time
corrupt.
somebody was like, oh, they're learning there. No, if you do not teach your child the right thing in their home, it will grow, they will grow and they will grow.
The thing is, Pablo, the impunity is so much in the country that anybody can do anything and go scot-free. As long as you big man, jail not for you.
Yeah, and who thinks that way?
Yeah.
People, because they don't want the guy on the jury bench. And just watch it. Every corruption case, the defendant will ask for juror case. Is that right? You can't take that one from them.
Can't take it from them.
You can't take it from them. They
But-
will
but-
ask for it
You
because
understand the matter of the
think
people.
the people will, especially Liberian people got a mindset. We think when you be man, you can't go to jail. But we'll be the same people that will be talking, say, oh, well, only armed robber and they can go to jail, but the BB people can't go to jail. They gave you the chance to do the right thing. You said
Yeah.
that you close your eye, you say you will not do it. So who you will blame?
Agree. See the poor rejoicing.
I'm telling you, my brother.
You know for
Can you
a fact that
imagine?
not because they say, you know for a fact that not because they say the person is not doing it, it means that they didn't commit the crime. Okay? But
It's
at the end of the
fundamental.
day, you are rejoicing that somebody may have committed a crime and went free.
Yeah.
You
And
have to
those
say
are
you
the
want
same
to-
people that eating crumbs. Because someone then you see the places they live in, if I was in certain situation, I would not be celebrating nobody, even if they were not found guilty. But open secret out there, somebody who could not even afford a bed to sleep in 6 years' time become a millionaire and stuff. Am I supposed to be celebrating somebody like that? Am
And
I?
Howard, just what you say, just what you say, I'm not cutting you off. Even some of them that jubilating, they walk home. They don't even say have a cup of rice to eat. Home. But is that jubilating for somebody that stole X amount of money? What kind of look? Sometimes, sometimes I won't say this, all right? Sometimes sometimes it's like when you look at the behavior of some Liberians, they don't need help. And I must say it. They don't.
Like Justina said, the government was vindicated. It's the people who feel themselves.
True.
When
And
the
what
devil
other
allows-
person said?
Justina is right.
I know rental. I know that's somebody who had it beyond something. Like, how they call it, jurors are citizens. If the citizens fail to do the right thing, we should also, in as much as we can beat our own government when they go wrong, if we, the citizens, do the wrong thing, we should beat on them too. So they can know that what you're doing to yourself, you're not doing it to Joseph Wakai. You're not
No.
doing it to Jeremiah Kum.
No.
You're not doing it to Augustine Gafuan. You're not doing it to any government official, but you're doing it to yourself. Because some of your rent say you can't come away.
You can come up with even rent. They don't even say $1 to eat a
And then
day.
they give you the opportunity to do the right
Yeah.
thing. And you decide that you will not do the right thing. For me, I will not only blast the God, I will blast them too. If anybody angry, I mean, you can't do anything about it, but that's just the truth. People need to tell the citizens the truth. You have a responsibility to your nation. Whether you learn service in school or not, as a citizen of a country, you have a responsibility. You have to take care of your country. When they clean the street, don't put trash there. Your civil duty is to take care of Liberia, not to continue to make Liberia hard for yourself.
Because the thing here is that you have people that Sekou Kalasko say now that George Weah government is finally vindicated.
I
That
want
is
to
what
talk
they're
Yes.
going to carry to the people. That is what they're going to carry to the people in the interior. Why
Yes.
this case was just about electoral money for electoral purpose, 6.2 million. You spread it over George Weah 6 years. Again, he says then Axedo wrote Samuel Tuer not guilty, Nathaniel McGill not guilty,
Can
Bill
I
Trower
address
not
that, Albert?
guilty. Eh?
Can I address that?
Go
That-
ahead.
The two people that made a comment are very stupid. Because the people that were found guilty, which government did they work in?
That the government.
Okay.
It's
That
just
is
what I said
all.
from the beginning of the show. That is what I said from the beginning of the show.
So when you
If
carry
you are
it in the
division, you
interior,
have to be very careful because
Look.
this is what happening. And I brought in a scenario when you and I were talking, like you said, and you rightfully said, we made a case as though it was about Samuel Tuer, but actually the case was about corruption. People only
Yeah.
had it in their
Money.
head because Samuel Tuer was the big fish amongst those people. Even citizens themselves know that Samuel Tuer was the big fish. If he had been napped, it would have been a very big blow for the
But
CDC.
even some citizens were very surprised that some of them
Okay.
were free.
Okay, so at the end of the day, what I'm telling citizens is that you see the people who do not really matter in the eyes of the public.
but they themselves don't matter in the eyes of their people. They were
Yeah.
guilty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because they know that the public don't really know these people like that politically. They have no political bearing. So at the end of the day, they are used as pawn. Okay.
Mr. Blair, you
They are
know,
pawn.
watch out for that Capitol burning case.
I
watch
just talk
out.
about it.
Watch out, Howard. Market today, you myself, we talking on the show. You should take this show down today. Watch out for that Capitol burning case. How we gonna end? Look, the people are so corrupt and they are not hiding it no more. Right in our faces. Right in our
And-
faces.
And you know
You
what it
think
did?
you think what can make the big guys brave to
Because
do this thing that they are doing?
the common people give, then they go ahead to do it. Because there is
Yep.
no way I can be a juror sitting and listening to that whole
Can you
deliberation
imagine? How
and be like,
Prophet
oh,
Key just insulted someone he behind bars for 6 months. 6 months he behind bars because he's an ordinary person. Just somebody that ran it, escalate,
Prophet Key
stole
was not
millions of
giving-
dollars.
Prophet Key did not ask for juror. Maybe if you ask for juror too, you will be out.
They didn't even start getting things done for you to ask for jurors.
No, but I want they couldn't get in here because of the Supreme Court
It
directly.
was
The
the Supreme Court that summoned him. It was, how to call it?
The
the
person is
Chief
supposed to
Justice.
flex their muscle.
I think his sentence was hard, but I don't think anybody should be using for character. We got kids. That is
Yeah.
some of the reason our country. See what happened in real life. Since I was born in Liberia, beside wartime, never see that happening. Where a group of people, even women,
Yeah.
go and
Yeah.
make it another female. Where
Yeah.
what is going on? And
Yeah,
these
but
are
how
some
are
of
the reason these things happen? The reason these things happen, that's the same thing we all saying. You see, in this country where you myself living, we have freedom of speech. But they tell you say your freedom of speech come with responsibility. And the first thing they will tell you, you can do all you want to do.
freedom of
Somebody
speech
can
are
just sit and write in Morifed and just write nonsense on social media. The government say, oh, that freedom of speech, that lead the people to go free. Nothing will happen. Yeah, in this country, you can just talk anything you want to talk. Then you say, oh, that freedom of speech.
with responsibility. It's
All
even
right.
in the Liberian constitution. You're free to say what you want to say, but you have to be held responsible.
You get government
for what you
officials.
say.
Government officials sitting down there, they say a lot of nasty things. They insulting here and there, you don't do nothing. And they say, oh, that freedom of speech. You can't do nothing to them. But when the ordinary person there, you go grab them.
In the test, I think the Prophet Key thing, it was not because it was directly at the Chief Justice. It was not because all the time he was called saying nobody said anything to him or so. But it's like if you call me
Hawa.
and wait, let me finish
Hawa.
talking. If you insult
Okay.
me and I decide to not go and sue you, or to not do anything. It's up to me. But if you go and do it to somebody else and the person decides to take you to court and you are held you are accountable for what you say, I don't think he should have gone to jail for 6 months. That is way too harsh. But I also don't believe that anybody should just sit down and open their mouth and be talking some of the things that came from out of that man's mouth.
But how the see you got called about man when he came from other country, right on the airport into his oral office. And he saw that the Chief Justice, and he said the Chief Justice is corrupt, and he dared the Chief Justice to do anything that the Chief Justice want to do to him.
I don't know why the Chief Justice did not take action. I can't answer for you.
He left it like that. Look, man, sometimes look like breaking. Just
anybody should be above the law, whether you're the president,
yes,
the lawmaker, you whatsoever, because our country has gone so bad to the extent that some major steps need to be taken. What are people will cry and say, "Oh, and Waka police and Gorgakomo police, this and that." Things need to be done to put the one that people can say snip it in the behind.
But
look, let me say the hour before you come in, please. Everything that we're doing in our country, the infrastructures, the rules, everything that we've been doing. However, if we don't have strong justice system to hold people accountable for all the nonsense they're doing in Liberia, however, anything, God forbid, that sparkle in the country, the citizens themselves, because anybody can do anything to go scot-free, they will go destroy those same things. And we'll go back to square one.
But that's what I'm saying, because they don't even know, they have no loyalty to the country. They don't know as a citizen what they're supposed to do. They don't know how to act as citizens of a nation. So that is why we that know need to continue to push it. So nothing can pass out. So we continue to push it. People were, you just have to be consistent. Let me tell you, I will give you 1 or 2 stories. I have talked, some of the children are be cursing people and so one time I wrote something and one of them came to curse me and I decided to talk to him and he wanted to be, I said, if you got hold of the subject matter, you don't have to insult me. I said, people that start to curse, that people that ain't know any other thing to say. So you want to talk to me and convince me, you don't have to insult me. I mean, 1 or 2 of them, some of them, I mean, you just cannot. But I mean, he was able to listen and read it like, oh yeah, sister, the one you're saying are true, you know, XYZ. So sometimes some of these people don't know. So we have to continue to push the narrative. We also have to know that there are other narratives out there. So we have to counter it and make people to understand. You are a Liberian and you are responsible to take care of Liberia, not the other way around.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Because we're talking about job. Even if companies come, that tomorrow you get in Liberia for the company. If we don't behave, if people want to still be acting like rebels and they don't want to follow laws and they don't want to follow to do, the company will pack up and leave.
Indeed. I totally agree with you.
Man, it's so sad. It's so sad for our country. It's so sad.
Yeah, I'm not downhearted. This case, to be frank, just gave me more zeal to continue to push because it's like you're on a battlefield.
You're right.
I mean, you can't give up. There are so many cases that are coming. There are so many. The only thing I can say, the justice ministry need to be.
How about you rather get fit in the justice ministry? Eh?
I'm just saying. I mean, it doesn't mean I agree with everything, but I cannot just say, "Oh, stamp on it." I mean, that's why we got voices to continue to push. Because you can have a toddler, but if you continue to pour hot water on that toddler, that toddler will move.
I think we need to stop. I think we need to stop putting hot water on the toddler bag because the toddler yourself looking at the full set people and I can walk. I swear. Oh yeah, I'm about telling you because the toddler yourself want to see this, I want to beat it back.
But the thing is, we have to distinguish between the justice ministry and the court. Because even if the ministry come and indict people and take the case to the court, so those are two different separate entities. The court have to call that case to order before the justice ministry lawyers can go in there to start to work on the case.
Man, the country, man,
So-
every day labiro, man, every labiro.
Those are two different entities. We cannot combine the justice ministry and the court because the court is under the judiciary. So the judiciary need to try to be more.
I want to
proactive.
ask you something. I want to ask a question. Maybe Abba, you can answer if you, both of you guys know the answer. Can the president fire the judges? Any of the judges?
No,
I think impeached
they can be impeached, but through the House.
through the legislature. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
democracy, just like in the United States. You can't just go above firing and people because you don't agree with them.
What's
Yeah.
about the chief justice? I mean, what's about the justice minister?
He can remove
be
because
fired.
that is by appointment.
The justice minister can be fired because he was appointed by the president.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can be fired because he works at the wings and caprices of the president.
Anybody that the president appointed, they can be fired. Besides, because the president do appoint justices too. Besides that, but anybody like under the executive branch can be fired by the president.
Okay.
Yeah, guys.
know-
We've been here for like almost 2 hours.
Man.
Let's call it a day.
Thank you so much. It's like sometimes when these things happen, sometimes like we just get frustrated more.
You should have heard me yesterday. Me and Abba couldn't get. I like, look, I have to tell you, look, I'm going to a class reloaded.
Oh,
but
I called
this
Abba
is
yesterday. Oh, a good Abba called me up. I called Abba yesterday. I said, Abba, I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear your voice in my ear right now. He said, come down. I said, I don't want to come down. Don't talk to me.
just they can be impeached, but by through the process of the legislatures, not the president.
Abba and Hawa again. Do you think the president should be looking around now, or he should be thinking about reshuffle?
For me, the word reshuffle, I don't even like it because to me, reshuffle make people complacent.
Yeah,
Really?
maybe let's just say the president firing some people now.
If people are not performing, yes, I think he should remove them and I'll continue to keep them there.
Yes, I have the same view. And the reason I'm having this view is I think time is fast spent now. I think they have had enough time. The president need to take a red pen now as we speak. If not, it might be late. From the executive mansion outside, all the way to any ministry, you need to fire some people right now. Because too much nonsense going on. Too much. Yes. And the people that are responsible, most of these leaks, it's not good as a nation. Yeah.
Yeah, Hawa. Let's call it a day. It's 12 o'clock my time. Let me be able to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
But tomorrow, I had a very good monologue this morning. It went viral.
I was studying, so I kind of just watched it a little bit, and then I went back to go study.
While doing monologue, I got fire.
You saw the accident of red light?
Yeah, I didn't have to see them. Seriously.
No, but
It's
the thing is,
appealing.
sometimes in time to come after everything, we gotta be discussing some of the low-hanging fruits.
No, and that's it. I don't know how to. I have not seen it, but
Yeah,
some of
I
the
think,
reason why people shouldn't be selling on the street. People
Yes.
need
tomorrow show Hawa will host tomorrow. I'll be a panelist.
Tomorrow is Mother's Day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's special. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
special.
And
Right.
I'm cooking for my mom and my aunts, and they're going to be here. So I don't
Oh,
want to promise I will even be on. I may pop on
No, I
if
think tomorrow gonna be free day because tomorrow is Mother Day. So everybody gonna be like,
yeah. People will be concentrated tomorrow. So at least it's good. I can also rest myself tomorrow.
maybe
So
Yeah.
Monday.
yeah,
people,
Monday.
people just, Liberian people need to listen.
Mhm.
When they tell you to move from on the street, the people ain't say don't sell.
Mhm.
And y'all need to stop allowing the same politicians that have destroyed you continuously twisting things and putting it in your ear, and you're there going like you don't have brains in your head. They say
You know,
leave, go to the market. You have market buildings that are empty. Go there. In every society, you will leave Liberia, those that travel and go to other people homes and be talking about how beautiful it is. Oh, when you go to the person place. But there is order. The people listen to their own government when their people talk. They
Yeah.
do not base their country on partisan level
Yes.
to say, oh, that UP yeah, so I will not because I'm in CDC or I'm in CMC and I will just be disordered to bring problem. The
You know
government
how,
did not say
how you
do
are
not,
right.
the government did not say do not sell. The government self know people have to eat, but go to the right place. If you go in the market building, people will come there and buy.
You know, man,
Guys,
what you're saying, you are right. We gotta discuss. It's a whole topic. When I
it's a
saw
whole
them
topic.
taking that woman's body from a Mondo planting, I'm like, wow. And these are the same thing the police can be talking. Then they see North Mega, what they call Yeka Koloba. He can be badging at the police director. Or taking the people from the street. See that kind of a tragic accident where broad day.
Thank you for bringing another
Yeah.
thing. We need, the other day me and my cousin were talking, and I was like, look, we need to amend our constitution in a way that certain people will not even be able to go and apply to be representative.
Yes.
Because as a sitting representative, they try to put order where people will know where to go. And you being more disruptive
It's on the
than
money.
anything else.
It's
Then
on the
you should
money.
not
The
be
same
a
fabric, the
lawmaker.
same government you working in.
You should not be a lawmaker because then you do not know your role as a lawmaker. Because if you really knew what to do as a lawmaker and what it entails to be a lawmaker, you will not be telling citizens to be disobedient to their government, to
Yes.
stay on the sidewalk when people sidewalks are for people to walk on, not for people to sell on.
But Hama, why do you see in this country when the people, where you see even some schools, buildings and things that are close on the road, they build, I mean, they plant it very thick or metal poles because accident can take place at any time. Some
Yeah.
car can just leave from the road and just run through and go straight on the campus. That's why you see here the people have the pillars in front of the buildings, and the same lawmakers when they ready to own man the same system. How can you do that?
Anybody
All right.
that says the lawmaker and under money assistant should not be a
They
lawmaker.
tell you say, oh, they have special time for campaign. You say, oh no, you don't care. You're above the law. And that's what can really hurt me about this Yeka Koloba guy. He feels like he's above the law and he's untouchable. Nobody can touch him. It is like every time you lower your car just to create chaos. See what happened in San Nicole? It could be worse. People could die. And when you talk about it, they say, oh, nothing will happen. The man have his right. The country is just to say, no government, they don't want to be underneath no rule. This guy is he's just a one man that just, anything he does in that country, that for nothing. He don't care. And nobody can hold him responsible. The justice system, instead of them holding the law, that is the justice system behind him.
We
Man,
we also have to know
It's so
just,
frustrating.
it's frustrating, and I know sometimes we get frustrated. But I will also say again, I know we want everything to just fall in place, plaque. Me, I come in BJMB daughter tonight. Every long rope has an end.
Nah. Parable.
That's true.
I know, right?
I don't blame you, Hawa.
Every
I don't
long
blame you.
Hawa is right. I agree with Hawa.
I agree with you.
One day
Every
I had
long
a
rope has an
nonsense-
end. Even
that is
master
why-
that here, my
you
own
know-
rope getting stuck.
You know, and David, sometimes we just look at above, but sometimes it's good to start to build from the foundation. Our people, we Liberians, including myself, we got serious problem. Both Liberia and diaspora Liberians. But because for us in the diaspora, they got some of us, we have no allegiance to Liberia. So
Mhm.
we were just stuck. We even want a country to burn because the person
Oh,
that
yes.
we say to be president is not the president. Joseph Boakai is too country to be president. for
Yes.
our country.
And now what is happening?
There's some of our minds here. So we sit here and undermine, and we continue to play with the people down there. And the people themselves need to know that you need to stop being used as a puppet, because people here in telling you the puppet machines and you're just there going like Bobby does. You need to stop allowing people give you $10.
Yes.
You got $10. Tomorrow you sleep hungry. You need to open your eyes and do right by yourselves.
Agree.
You're right.
We need to, because sometimes we just look up here. But let me tell you, you can put all the system in place. When these people down here,
Yeah.
mind is not correct, or they're looking at things the way
They will
you
destroy.
the way
You're right.
it will not. We can build 1 million markets around
Yeah.
Liberia. If the people on the that setting on the road decide to be defiant,
Yeah. Because the
And
lawmakers are
that's
telling us
it.
the lawmakers are telling a different thing.
and two, because some of the lawmakers, when the people go, and that is why I wish, oh God, I was in Liberia and working in a position where something will happen and a lawmaker come and stand before me and say, oh, that my
Yes.
constituent, some of the problem there. Because
Yeah.
you want to vote, so you will not tell the people to do the right thing.
How it's so it's too much.
We
That's
need to
what
stop
that's
those things. We
it's
need
too
to
much.
tell the citizens, this is your responsibility as a citizen. This is what you should be doing as a citizen.
Hmm.
Because if you get it, the country will even move faster forward than you even expect it. But I know people can say, oh, it looks like nothing happening. It feels like nothing happening because the citizens themselves are disgruntled.
Yes, they are. They are disgruntled, and
So
the
no
lawmaker
matter-
themselves.
No matter what we do, they have people in the bike put in the
Yes.
puppet strings, and some of them
Yeah.
get it yet. Some of them getting it though. I will give it
Yeah.
to some of them. Some of them getting it, but there are still a huge number of people
Huge portion,
ain't get
yeah.
it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If-
agree.
if-
I agree
if-
to that.
If the state of America come and say everybody leave the street, a lawmaker come from there and say no, the man don't want for you guys to survive. He don't want for you guys to do the job, go down the street. On the money in the system
It's
that he's
only
getting paid
Yeke
from.
It's not only Yeke who's doing that. There are a whole lot of other people
Yes.
that are doing it. Like
Most
I
of
saw
them.
a video about this guy that to ECOWAS, what his name?
Yes, Snow.
Not
Snow.
only that, Enders, who
Enders.
I think he slapped somebody
You
or
slap
so.
somebody, yeah.
Like,
Sometimes
are
as
you
well.
serious? Look, that's where I say like Liberian people don't know their right. You slap me, and that
Oh.
was a government employee. I think it was for some
Theft. Power
power
theft.
thefting. We're going to court. I will sue you as a lawmaker. When the
Why
Liberian
you
people-
sue the man? Why would come from other end?
the point is that is taking a step. That is showing something. You know, sometimes we can say, if you do this one, what will come from other ear? That's an issue too. You take the step. The moment one person, because sometimes our people don't know these things. The moment one person does something and people know that you can do that, you will see some of these things will start changing. Some of the lawmakers and stuff will start checking their own breaks and stuff.
Our, I'm not cutting it off, man. Our people, most of our people know these things. But before you even say you going to court, the lawmakers stand right there. If you make a telephone call or whatsoever judge or judges that you're going to meet.
I do not care at this point. That is not the point. The point is, what are you picking up phone to call the judge or what? When we go to the court, then the judge tells me if the lawmaker has a right to put his hands on me as a citizen who is doing. Some of these things, people need to start taking stands and stuff and challenge.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
We just sit there and say, oh, what will come from other air? That is a problem too. We never take any step and we say nothing. If you don't do something, you will never know.
Yeah.
So guys, let's call it a date.
Yeah, man.
We'll be back Monday. So tomorrow is Mother's Day. Will be it's already Happy Mother's Day to you. Howard,
Happy Mother's Day to you too, Mama.
It's already Sunday at my end. Okay, and I we appreciate you being a mother. Okay, and the kids continue to bring them up well the way you're doing it. I don't know you per se, but my interaction with you shows me that you are good people. So just continue to do what you do.
And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. And thank you for all the hard work we do.
I tell you,
right? All the hard work you guys do.
Yeah. Okay,
guys.
Yeah,
why Christina did not come on? That was good.
I didn't know, and I called her also. I did send a link to her.
Maybe she's busy.
I call her.
Maybe she's preparing for Mother's Day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Right now, everybody now you go to all the shopping places now, jam packed.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was willing to come on.
I will do not play with his sleep. Okay, I work can disturb people, but when you call him by, then he's sleeping.
How about you work overnight?
Me?
Early morning,
but the thing is that over the past months, I've not really rested myself.
Thank you, Willard.
I can be up late. I go to bed so now 1 o'clock. I always wake up 4:30.
What, JB keeping you up?
Yeah, then I hit the shower by 5, 6. I'm out of the house. Then I'm to work. I'm cutting video, doing it. I come home, I'm cutting video. Then I go live, all of that. So now I have sleep for only 2.5 hours, 3 hours. So the few times, as soon as I sit on the train, sleep carry me. Even within meeting,
I heard that train will be passing by your workplace and then sometimes you're talking and then you forget you miss your exit, then you have to go turn all the way around.
Tell you.
Man, I drink and disturb people, man.
I just been like tired. Look, there's a very first time yesterday that imagine I woke up around 8 and drank pepper soup. I lie down on the couch. I know over 4 months now I sleep in my own room here. I lie down on the couch again. Before I could make up my mind, it was 4 o'clock. So I took the whole day. I didn't even know I was sleeping. When I woke up at 4 o'clock, I said, what? And I ain't feeling tired tonight. I said, but I tell you to do the movie.
How about you reading Harrietta comment?
Yeah, I read that.
What did you say?
She said a culture of impunity, literacy rate, ignorance, and no law for country, but individuals are killed. Yeah, that is so true.
Oh, we celebrate people want to continue.
You have to continue to count what people had. You have to love your country. Nobody will face Liberia for you. But you know, when we're coming up, the people used to say, all the people will come from America and can't face it. America not facing your country for you. So you better.
America said get their own problem.
No, I'm just saying, you know, when we're younger, people used to say that. I still remember as a child, people would say, oh, nobody come and do it for you. And my grandma always used to say that nobody doing it for you but yourself. So you better take care of you and be proud of who you are.
Before I conclude, before we go, let me say this. I knew that I would tell you something. Yesterday, I went to one African African food place. I was sitting down there. I went to eat something.
Marcia,
And
the
this
man
Ghana,
said he slept all day today.
this Ghana guy, he was working with Omil. He was in Liberia. But the guy know our politics more than myself. So immediately he myself started talking. He said, your name? I said, my name David. He said, you Liberian? I said, yes. He said, oh, Liberia, nice people. I said, how? He said, oh, then he talk about his own Adika. He said, I was in Liberia for peacekeeping mission. So I said, where you are busy? He said, I was busy 15 gig. I said, yeah. Charlie? He said, yeah. He said, I have 2 Liberian kids. My children that I will meet in Ghana. Then he started telling me about JMB. He said, man, your old man is doing well. I can follow your politics 24/7. I wish the old man, he had more than 50, 60 years in the favor. He said, that whole country. He said, he's doing well with the road. So I said, ah. Then the guy started showing me pictures, brother. All the roads, since the Pabeto Power started building, the Boko catalog, everything in full. I said, but Charlie, how you can follow this thing? He said, oh.
But yet people say and say nothing.
Wow.
When you never used to go one side of your country, you can now take,
That's the thing.
take 7 hours to go.
Let's look at the rap that Gege Koruba did. In the course of the few days, he round that he made from Monrovia, Basso, Grand Cru, the entire Southeast, Then came to Grand Gila, Nimba.
But because he was riding car, his own car broke down. It did not get, it was not stuck, but the engine just stopped.
Okay. That guy was able to move in a period of less than 1 week. He
Yeah.
sampled the country. Could you have done that years ago?
Nope.
Even
My
in the
brother,
midst of
I saw Dollar giver.
It's not
I saw
outside
Dollar
play
giver.
game. Okay. Duster roll. You move it. The small rings are coming now. Before then, when the small ring comes, the whole row is done.
Yeah.
We even talk about the big. So look, for me, I know people said this decision, it will hurt us one way or other. People are angry. They call me yesterday. They said, "Mommy, I told that government."
But why are people even angry? This is just the first corruption case.
They call me yesterday.
Yeah.
So are they ready? People that are talking, this is just the first case. So what are you really angry about? They
No,
have
but
not
I
even-
told some of my friends,
Yeah,
I
they
said,
have
now
not
you're
even
happy.
done half of the cases. The only thing I can say when they start catching people and putting them in jail, nobody should say it's wasteful.
Nobody should talk. Yeah, you right.
There's a thing. They said that Joseph Yuma Bwaka was prosecuting Samuel
Samuel
12.
12. Yeah, I was sent on top.
Prosecute Samuel 12 and Samuel 12. They didn't go to jail.
Yeah.
They're rejoicing now.
That
That
is stupid because he was and the government was not persecuting just Samuel 12 alone. They
Okay.
were persecuting 4 other people along with him. The juror, the Liberian people themselves, decided to get Samuel 12 off the hook. And sometimes when I used to listen to Stanton, sorry, he has a big platform, but he talks yelling.
He's not
yelling.
good.
Let me tell you, yelling me, the thing you're talking makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yelling me, the thing you're talking, that's true.
Yeah.
So
That's
for
true,
me,
Hawa.
when you're talking about Stanton, I can just be like,
But
And his platform, you got to agree with him. Anything he said, words about.
you think why it's easier for me to deal with that guy is because
because
I
if you are
know-
not intellectually inclined to some level,
because I have discovered that all the things that he can say, out of the 100 things he can say, only one something that will be everything between it are complete
and
nonsense.
a lot of people have realized that. Let me tell you, a lot of people that used to have respect for Spoon TV, it's not there anymore.
It is.
I would tell you the reason why I stopped watching Spoon TV. You remember when this former vice president died, the late John Gray, and they were having his book of condolence at the Capitol. It was just before the Capitol building got burned. I think it was 2 days later the Capitol building got burned.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And they were having a book of condolence. Now that's something people don't know. And these people that have this mega platform think everybody's stupid. Book of condolences are not just something that you get up today. You say, oh, today we're doing book of condolence. No, this is something that is planned. It's on the calendar. And it's there. So people decide to go and protest on the same day of the signing of the book. And I heard people talking about, oh, the president even shouldn't have gone to work. Are you serious? That time I remember Dollar was still on a spoon.
Yeah.
People were saying, oh, and Stanton, because that morning I just got up, usually I get up early. So that morning I just got up, I put my something on the people, I watched the whole protest. But he did this narrative that it was the president that gave the go-ahead for them to clear the protester because he have to go and sign.
Yes.
Somebody
I can remember that.
Dangerous.
The guy,
That thing.
I mean, I always say the guy has a criminal mindset. So what
That
would you
thing brought chills to me. The reason is I was of age to remember when the war was coming to Liberia. People sat in this United States and peddled certain things that turned Liberia upside down, that made some of us to grow up as children running from place to place. You go to school today, after a few weeks, you get up, you pack your load, you run. So when that man said that thing, I said, but then you shouldn't send your, if you want, you shouldn't send your how to call it, your press people on a scene of a protest if you want to peddle certain lies. Because the
guy is wicked.
They reached to the executive mansion. The police had a blockade. In fact, the former lawmaker that they just let go, he was leading one of the something. I mean, that thing looked like the rebel show that day. He was like, yeah, move it. The people, they broke the first police blockade.
Barricade. Yeah.
Then it was this, I think 1 or 2 from what he need, Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman.
That's how he got on the police people. That's how the people started firing the tear gas. And when I looked, and they weren't even knew the other one was in focal. He was all in way that he could run, because I even know how he jumped from in front of LU campus straight over the fence. Yeah. And then something like that happening, and you say, oh, no, that's not what happened. It was the president who said, I'm coming to sign a book of condolence, and they were talking about peaceful protest. I said, we live in the United States. You can protest on the street all day. If you put your hand on a police officer, that protest is no longer peaceful. It's no longer peaceful. And you sit on a platform and mislead people.
Yeah.
And thinking that you can play with
keep doing it.
And that whole week, I remember they peddled some dangerous things on that platform until that Capitol got burned. And that's why I can hold that channel responsible. That they contributed highly to that building burning.
So true.
They said a lot of things that led to that building burning.
Yes. And that guy peddled lies. He's one of the presidents that destroyed that country. He peddled lies.
I was like, that thing y'all doing, that's how war started in our country.
Yes.
Y'all need to stop. And that was the last time I ever listened to that platform. That's why even when I go to my interview, she got it on, I can go sit down in another room.
All right. Yeah, guys. Thanks for being here tonight.
Have a good night, my brother.
Enjoy your Mother's Day tomorrow, Hawa.
I will. I'll try.
Okay, bro.
Good night, everybody.
Thank
you.
Bye.
Oh. So, guys, thanks for being on the show tonight. We will be back on Monday. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. So we will be observing the day and seeing beautiful mothers, even women who have not had children, but they are playing crucial role in the lives of so many young kids out there. You are also a mother. We want to wish every one of you from our end here. It is 12:26 Belgian time. It is already Sunday. We want to wish you guys happy Mother's Day. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you on Monday, my brother Sanga.